right.
Recording in progress.
Good evening. Welcome to the Town of Emmitsburg meeting for Monday, March 16th. This is a special meeting with one agenda item for tonight that we'll get to. First order of business is that we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance flag, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. She ran out. Is Clark? Yeah, he's on. Okay. All right, so our town attorney Clark is also with us via Zoom. So tonight, let's see, for future meetings, the Board of Commissioners will meet on April 13th, 7 p.m. here in the town office and on Zoom. The Green Team meeting will be April 14th at 3 p.m. here in the town office and on Zoom. Citizens Advisory Committee will meet on April 21st at 7 p.m. here at the town office. Planning Commission meeting will be April 27th at 7 p.m. here at the town office and on Zoom. And the Board of Commissioners meeting for May will be May 2nd at 7 p.m. here at the town office and on Zoom. All right, is there any comments from commissioners for tonight? Anybody?
I just want to announce that the Knights of Columbus annual Easter egg hunt will be Sunday, March 29th at 1 in the park over here.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask, I saw that Mayor Davis is having a straight talk session, and I can't attend that evening, so I was wondering, is it going to be held in this room? Can we broadcast it to like Channel 99?
No, this is something that the library is putting on. I'm just the guest. So I've been invited as a guest to do these 4 sessions for the library. So that's.
Do you know if they're able to record it or live stream it?
Not really sure, but we can check tomorrow and
Okay.
see.
That would be great.
I have one.
Mr. Sweeney?
The Little League ball fields will all open up this weekend. They'll be full, so be careful with the kids in the parks. The concession stands are open up this weekend also, and both sets of I guess all 3 sets of bathrooms will be open automatically.
All right. Any public comments? Nope. All right, I have none. Any mayor comments?
No, good.
Thank you, sir. There is nobody here. There's nobody here for public comments. Tonight's agenda item, we have one agenda item. This item has been discussed multiple times, and it's coming back here tonight for some clarity. It was discussed back in December, or some questions that come up since then, and our town attorney has verified that, or has made a statement that the motion that was made back then is a little bit unclear, or maybe a lot unclear. So tonight, our goal is to verify or clarify what that motion was intended was, and to make a new motion and supersede that motion, if we can get to that, for how to proceed with this agenda item. And the agenda item is for consideration approval of the expansion of the Town of Emmitsburg Community Garden. So, and I was not here in December, so I don't really know all the ins and outs of that discussion or motion that detailed, but does anybody, from what that was, anybody want to make a motion on what the goal or the intent was at that time? Or what we want to change it to?
I think the motion was to approve just the expansion of the garden.
That's what it says here on the back.
Okay.
Yeah, so the meeting was November 3rd, and the council conditionally approved an expansion of the allotted space contingent upon a demonstrated need. And basing the motion like that would allow the town to apply for the grant, and the mayor made it clear that if the need didn't arise, that we didn't have to accept the money.
Yes.
Yeah, so where we are now, we have to make that decision because we have to have things ordered probably by tomorrow, Maddie?
So,
By the end of next week, we have to have things ordered or the grants.
Okay,
Void.
so then what you're asking then is for this council to, I guess, move forward with that motion that was made to accept or reject
The grant.
the receiving of the grant?
Yes.
So that's all you really need then, is
Basically, that's all we need.
If- to accept it or reject it?
Yeah, I just
the
want to
grant-
clarify.
The grant itself?
Yeah, I just want to clarify something. When we say expanding the garden, I think everybody automatically assumes that we're going to expand the footprint out to South Seaton Avenue and do whatever. My theory or thoughts of expanding the garden means new features, more beds, more features like the greenhouse, things like that, pollinating garden if that's necessary. But it all doesn't have to be in this footprint out here. So it could be other places. So as long as it is part of the community garden. And, I think that's where we're kind of getting mixed up. So we might need more space. Yes, that might be more space. So if we do, they're just not going to go out and dig up the yard here if it's not needed. But
And I think I understand what you're saying, so but that also include with something like the old garden area, that.
Over there.
over-
yes, yes,
Get my directions right, I don't know.
because that's considered a community garden also.
Correct.
And I will bring, I was at the elementary school today and at another event, and they are interested in having a raised bed there to plant pumpkin seeds their last week of school. So they can show the kids what happened over the summer with the pumpkins and those seeds when they return and have pumpkins for October. To me, that's expanding the community garden.
I would agree. I would. Okay. All right,
I'll go ahead and make the motion.
go ahead. Make one.
Oh, I thought we already had the motion.
To accept the grant.
Yeah, we'll just make the motion to accept the grant as it is presented before us.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll
Seconded.
Yeah, go ahead. Go second.
Okay, so we have a motion, we have a second. Is there any additional discussion on accepting the grant?
I do have a. Oh,
Yes, I
go
do
ahead.
as well. You go
Valerie, go ahead.
first.
No. You jumped in before me. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Turnquist, go ahead.
Yeah, so I wanted to say that the town council did receive an email from a concerned citizen. I'm not going to read it, but I will summarize it quickly. It says, so the council received correspondence from a resident raising concerns about the proposed garden expansion and the related grant application. The correspondence questions whether sufficient objective data has been presented to demonstrate a need for expansion, how different garden proposals were evaluated through the committee process, and how stakeholder involvement was characterized in the grant submission. It also raises concerns about whether the town is prepared to move forward with expansion at this time, when advisory groups have recently discussed delaying that step. The resident encourages council to ensure that decisions of this nature are supported by clear documentation, transparent process, and meaningful community input. So that's from a citizen. And then I have a few comments. So September 8th, this has been going on for a while, but September 8th, we discussed the community garden, and it was determined that the green team would oversee the garden. They would review any proposals and recommend approving it to the council. That was in September. October 20th, we had a workshop, and we discussed the garden expansion, but we didn't take any action. It was referred back to the green team, essentially. And then November 3rd is when the council conditionally approved the expansion contingent upon a demonstrated need. So just to summarize, the green team was going to take over the community garden. They were going to review all proposals and make recommendations to the council. So to date, this is the process that we all agreed on. To date, there's been no formal green team recommendation supporting a greenhouse, a garden expansion, or a pollinator garden. Recent green team discussions included delaying expansion for about 1 year. So I'm not opposed to an expansion. However, I think we should follow the process that we voted on. receive the Green Team's recommendation, and review the documented need before committing to expansion. This will provide a year's worth of data to determine the need and success over the next year. And moving forward, when community members and committees invest their time and ideas into proposals, all proposals deserve fair and consistent consideration and clear decision standards. Furthermore, residents have the right to express their opinions, even when those opinions are critical. However, I do believe the town has a responsibility to support and protect the volunteers who give their time to serve our community. This can be done by setting clear expectations for respectful conduct, establishing consistent standards, helps ensure volunteers feel valued, helps maintain civility in public discourse, and strengthens trust in our local government and elected officials. That's it.
Okay. I wasn't going to bring this up, but since you've started the process, I guess I will go ahead and continue it. Where do I start? We have, first off, there was, of course, I don't know if everybody has seen it, but in the paper, there was a article that was written in a lesson of accountability. And you can read it. I'm not going to get into it, the reading of this. But the observations of this person are really way out of touch, in my opinion. Her facts, half of them are not correct. Others are, I mean, I would just like to know if she has the option of responding is, what was the purpose of this whole article? Was it to just create chaos within the town itself? I just don't think that, I mean, I've got the article here, and I've got like 5 pages of notes just from that. I'm not going to get into that today, but then, you know, we get right on the back of that, we get yesterday this email from not a citizen, well, it's a citizen now, but a former town commissioner. And, you know, once again, it's like attacking and making accusations that aren't true. The Green Team and the CAC serve under the pleasure of the board. The board makes the decisions of whether to accept or deny their recommendations, which we can or did do in this last instant. I don't see a need for us to have to wait a year if, my question is, were all the beds used last year? Were they all full? Did we have any room left for anybody else who wanted it?
They were full.
Okay, so they were full for one. Now, as the mayor pointed out, this deals with not just the beds, but increasing, you know, knowledge and well, just in that aspect, I think that we can go ahead, in my opinion, we don't need to sit here and wait to see what next year's results are. I believe we should just vote on it, pass it, and move on. That's all.
What about the process that we already voted on? You're just going to throw that away?
What process did we vote on?
Well,
I wasn't here in September.
I already went through that. The process that we voted on, that guidelines and proposals would be reviewed by the Green Team, and they
Okay.
would submit their recommendations to the town council for consideration. That would include an expansion, a pollinator garden, a butterfly garden.
Nowhere in the grant does there ever talk about, the grant that I have in front of me, this most recent grant, does it talk about a pollinator garden?
Yes,
Nowhere.
it absolutely does.
Show me where, because I've read this whole
Whoa,
thing.
whoa, whoa.
I absolutely
Slow
can
down,
show
slow
you.
down, calm down, everybody.
I've read it many times.
Well, if I can just chip in here for a minute. What we are buying is nothing to say that we won't have the pollinator garden, that we won't have all that other stuff. This is equipment we need to move forward. And it would be kind of foolish to turn away $13,000 of equipment and things that actually the CAC committee did ask for, a lawnmower, and did ask for a bench at a meeting that I
That is
attended.
absolutely not true.
It is, I was there, so you're calling me a liar?
You were at the
I was there at the CAC meeting when they asked, because they were offended that Jack Deathridge had his own personal lawnmower there, and they wanted our own lawnmower. I said, we'll get you a lawnmower. We'll get you a bench. So yes.
Okay, well, they have told me that that is not true.
Well, we're gonna fix that too, because all meetings from now on will be Zoomed and will be recorded, because that's the problem. It's a said, she said thing, and then staff is stuck in the middle, and staff looks like the bad person, and we're gonna eliminate that.
So what we're here for tonight is the acceptance, what the motion is to accept the current motion is to accept this grant. It's not about the rules or regulations of the garden and the grant itself. And the grant spells out what it's gonna do, what the project description is. It's not just about expansion, it is about the purchasing of items and things, more than just expansion. But tonight's agenda item is, are we accepting this, the motion is to accept this grant.
Well, I still want to answer the commissioner's question on page 6 of 11. Does it say page numbers at the bottom?
Okay.
1, 2, third paragraph. The last sentence says, "The Emmitsburg Citizens Advisory Committee is also a partner for the project and submitted a proposal to the town to add a pollinator garden to the site. See attached proposal."
Okay.
They uploaded the proposal, however, in the budget, they didn't request any money for a pollinator garden. So, that's a little misleading.
Is it? Why
And
is
it
it
says,
misleading?
this project is being pursued at the request of the Green Team and the Citizens Advisory Committee.
But
That's
they don't have the
misleading.
authority to do anything except request. It's up to the council to decide whether we
Exactly,
want it in
and that's
there.
that's what I mentioned about the fair and consistent review of various proposals.
Well, if you look at the budget request that was sent through, it shows that all the money is being used for all the products and everything that they requested. Maybe there wasn't enough money for that part. And I have no problem with it not being there and addressing it in a later date. I mean, the budget's right there. The
Well, I hadn't even
application
heard about a
budget.
greenhouse until we got a copy of the grant. So where did that idea come from? It wasn't part of the community garden expansion plan that we received in October.
But what is the big deal? We get to look at
The
everything.
big deal is we agreed upon a process, we voted on a process, and now you want to
Okay.
throw it away.
I didn't vote on that
I
process.
think like for the greenhouse, that came up from the green team, is my understanding, and
In
part of the library,
In
yeah.
the library.
Yeah, in the library. So it was discussed. I mean, I wasn't at the meeting, so I can't give you word for word, but at least that's my understanding, that we had these groups that asked about it.
We agreed on a process. Are you going to throw that out?
No,
the
I'm
window?
thinking the only thing we missed, I think everything went through the green team. The green team may have not have come back and given us the feedback we wanted, is the only thing I think, the step that's missed. And that can be provided tonight.
Well, I will tell you, I got a call from the Green Team, from Green Team members over the last 2 days, asking if it's okay to go ahead and start buying products, mulch, topsoil, and things like that. So obviously, the Green Team is on board with this.
Yeah, and I know they sent out the applications for people that want plots, went out this weekend. And then they sent emails to the people that had garden plots in past years.
Well, the last I heard, the Green Team has not made a recommendation, and at the last meeting, they talked about delaying any expansion for a year. So, do what you will with that.
Okay. Is there any additional discussion? None being said? All right, there is a motion on the table to accept the grant as presented. It's been motioned and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed?
Nay.
All right, 4-1.
I do want to say, even if we accept the grant and we decide at a later date we don't want to use it, we can turn down the money.
It wouldn't look
wait a minute.
good,
They're
but yes, we
ordering
can.
stuff tomorrow. Nothing's going to be turned down.
The process wasn't about accepting or rejecting the grant.
The process was about an expansion and how proposals were going to be reviewed. And it was just thrown out the window run over by a Mack truck. So,
I don't think, I just think we weren't involved. I think
Alright.
the green team met and discussed it, and,
I don't think we should be involved.
oh, I agree, we delegated it.
Because that's what we have the green team for.
Right.
we delegated the oversight and advisory opinions. That's what we delegated.
And tonight, we accepted the grant. The next agenda item is set the agenda item for next meeting, which I see no, I don't see no purpose for that. All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
I mean, a motion.
Is there a second? Motion been made and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Meeting is completed at 7:21 PM.